So he has got a small kidney. Congenitally, he is having one kidney. Or the kidney has been removed due to certain reason. We have got a case where we have found due to certain pathology one kidney is removed, and since then his creatinine level increased. So this actually hinders the clearance of the body. The fault is there in the body. And that's the reason why the patient cannot be relieved more than that extent. And third issue, very importantly, patient is doing something which opposing cure. Now, for example, the patient is taking lot number of other drugs. That may be one issue. The patient is not really listening to you. The person having some liver affection is continuing to be drinking. We are not going for the example of taking or chewing this onion and etc. What actually we encounter in arthritis. For example, a patient of increased sugar level, he takes sweets, raw sweets regularly. So when this condition comes, then actually we must remember the observation of Kent. That is the seventh observation. A full-time amelioration of the symptoms, yet no special relief to the case or to the patient. Now, the meaning is the existing organic condition prevents improvement beyond a certain limit, just we have described. And here the duty of the physician is the person try to keep the person healthy, prescribing a particular drug what suits to the man. And if the effort is taken to cure, that may not be successful. Means these are the cases for perfect palliation. Because if you try to cure this case, the cure may not be possible. I am not telling it is impossible. That depends upon the degree of pathology. Then only you can tell. Now, if we study aphorism 279, because I am not going to read it, you must read by your own. And we have just prominent that area, considerable determination of an important viscous. So this pure experience shows universally that if the disease do not manifestly depend on a considerable deterioration of an important viscous, and later he writes, the homeopathic medicine dose cannot be made so small that will not supersede the natural disease like that. But why we have taken this? Because he himself putting a condition, considerable deterioration of an important viscous, means he also understood the body should support, then only the drug may act. Because truly speaking, medicine cannot cure a man. If medicine would have cured a man, so no man in the world, in the universe, would have been died. It is how much the body is reacting. If your body is reacting, then only the drug will act. The drug will act and then the body will react. It is not. So the hidden idea, your organs should be fit, and then only you can expect cure. Now, for both the occasions, is the same remedy to be repeated? Because that is the question we put before also. In a standstill condition, and even when the original symptoms return, master says you repeat the remedy. Now the issue comes, what will be the potency? If we say Hahnemann's direction, he says you use the same potency once more. If you get 30 is relieving, repeat 30 for once. But Kant says you have to increase the potency. Now if you study lesser writing of Kant, he writes, every physician should have a comment on the 30, 200, 1M, 10M, 50M, CM, DM and MM potencies, made carefully on centesimal scale. From 30 to 1M will be found those curative powers most useful in very sensitive women and children. From the 10M to MM, useful for ordinary chronic diseases in persons not so sensitive. In acute diseases, 1M and 10M are most useful. They are clear guidelines. When you are practicing with centesimals, it is definitely 30 to 1M in sensitive women and children, 10M to MM for ordinary chronic diseases, those who are not sensitive, and in acute disease, you have to go with 1M and 10M because they are most useful. This is the clear directive that is coming from our master, Kant. By the use of the series of potencies in a given case, the patient can be held under the influence of the similimum or a given remedy until cured. When the similimum is found, the remedy will act curatively in a series of potencies. It's okay. But there is some more to understand. Now what to understand? Now what to understand? Now let us see. The potency may be increased, may be decreased as per the clinical condition. Because Kant here says about the increasing potency, ascending scale. But here we are telling, and previously also have told, there may be certain condition when the potency may have to be reduced. Say I were given 200 potency, now I am forced to prescribe 6, 3, lower potency of the same remedy. The rule is to increase the potency when the disease is functional, and especially the person has got a good susceptibility. But there may be conditions. You have to reduce the potency. Now what are the conditions? Now let us see the conditions. That is what happens in our first observation. A prolonged aggravation and final decline of the patient. Means the medicine have given a correct one, but surely the potency was very high and the medicine was deep acting anti-swelling. So deep acting anti-sodic. Therefore, instead of helping, it has established destructions. And since there have been enough irreversible pathological changes, this we all know, we have studied. Now here duty of the physician is immediate antidote. The topic antidote will come later. Now let us remember, the directive is to antidote. After each case taking, a more similar medicine in low potency is to be prescribed. High potency should never be used in chronic and doubtful cases. And naturally, the prognosis of this case is very bad. Now let us see what other master states. Thyroids begin with 12 or 30, especially when the tissue changes may have occurred. Roberts writes, it is probably wiser not to use an anti-sodic in these conditions. Anti-sodic means deep acting anti-sodics. So that means what I have to do? I have to select a remedy what is not very deep acting, and if it is deep acting, the potency should be low. Directives are very clear. Now, aphorism 255 means what I just have said. It is not that directly came to the mind of Kant. The hint was there in Hahnemannian lectures. So here we are getting the traces. From that trace, Hahnemann of Hahnemann, Kant ultimately drawn the picture. Now, supposing the remedy is perfectly appropriate, if the improvement delay too long in making its appearance, this depends either on some error of conduct on the part of the patient or on the homeopathic aggravation produced by medicine lasting too long. Consequently, on the dose not being small enough. So that means he is writing this is a homeopathic aggravation. Try to feel it. The drug for the case number 1 was very perfect. And if the drug was not perfect, then aggravation would not have been that much severe. Only the problem came with the potency and the character of the remedy. Potency was too high and the remedy was much deeper, deep acting. Actually, Kant in his lesser writings, I will come later also, in another article, he speaks about phosphorus in a lung case. So he is telling on the homeopathic aggravation produced by the medicine lasting too long, the dose not being small enough. Now you may ask the question, the homeopathic aggravation, if it is occur, then the internal feeling of the patient should have been better. This didn't have done in this case. This was not done because of this last line. The dose not being small enough. So this thing is to be understood. In a chronic case, having some irreversibility endangering the life, when you are giving higher potencies, in frequent doses, the constitution cannot resist the thrust given by this remedy. So this was the idea that was given by the stalwart homeopaths. Again, in 276, even though it may be homeopathically suited to this case of disease, the harm in every dose that is too large. The last line, greater its homeopathicity and higher the potency,